Game 4 loss. It was a missed opportunity. Knicks fan has been waiting for past 27 years since 1998 to see the greatness of our Knicks. And they failed to do it today. Defensively, and defensively. You cannot win the game against Indiana Pacers by chasing points. Offensively, you cannot win the game against Indiana. Indiana scored 126 points. Go back to game 1. Indiana won 126, something like that, 120 plus points. So, game number 3, Knicks won. That was hard contested defensive game. They didn't even score 100 points. So defensive display was miserable, and Tom has to take full responsibility for that. I don't know what he was drinking all day. It was simple. Where was Robinson? Where was Deuce? He needed 2 bench players plus another player. 3. You need at least 3 bench players. You cannot play with 5 players against these menacing offensive Indiana Pacers. They are too big, they are too strong. Knicks front 5 are one of the best. But their bench is nothing. You have to be creative. You have to be creative to have a good bench. They have a fantastic player with Robinson, who can be also played as a starter, but it doesn't matter. He's a monster. Everybody is fearful. And he was throwing punches yesterday. He was fouled, and he did confident to free pointers. Whereas Anunoby, he's a liability right now. And also the Bridges, we'll talk about them later. They are not confident enough to score their bucket, whereas Robinson did it smoothly. He didn't have any game plan. All these coaches come with a game plan. It didn't look like he came up with a game plan, like the way some of those games were lost against the Detroit. Like he didn't, in those games, Tom didn't have any game plan. He just let them play whatever they wanted to play. I understand, but the gravity of this game is enormous. It's an elimination game, basically. It was basically an elimination game, and you got eliminated. And you display game like this when your back is against the wall. I think Knicks fans deserve more than this. It was a bad performance, and Tom has to take full responsibility. He didn't have a game plan. I didn't see a single the play by Deuce. He was not on the court. Even when Hart got fouled out, he was replaced by Shamet, not Deuce. I don't know what was he thinking. I mean, some Knicks fans are mad for reasons against the Tom. Tom has some limitations. So he can go up to certain ceiling. That's it. That he displayed everywhere, in Chicago, in Minnesota, wherever he was before. Knicks has to think back strong what they have and going forward what they do. The season is almost over. Forget it, okay? it was a horrible display. I mean, last year they played way better against Indiana compared to this year. I don't see any reason why Tom couldn't play a better defensive scheme in the game number 4, the pivotal game number 4, because they needed to win just to stay alive. Even though if they have won the game, it doesn't mean that they will win this. They would have won the series. No, just in order to be on the same page, because you cannot even chase their tail. Yes, Boston game was adrenaline. Okay, Boston was not that really great, to be honest. Boston didn't have no presence in the paint. Indiana, Siakam has a strong presence in the paint, and most of the time there is no answer. The only time they will have an answer, or they had an answer and they will have an answer, when Robinson is on full display on the court and really dominant. Only one game for few minutes in the entire series we saw real picture of Robinson. That was game number 1 and few minutes in the second quarter. That's it. Tom doesn't know how to utilize his manpower. Period. You don't have to be a rocket scientist, you know. I don't need to be a coach. I understand that. I'm a scientist. It's a science. There is nobody to blame offensively for today's loss, because they scored enough points. Knicks should win a game when they score 100 plus points. That's the Knicks game. That's the way Knicks plays the game for last 30 years. You cannot change a team's philosophy. You have to stick to team philosophy. Giants, they stick to their team philosophy, what Purcell's gave them back in the 90s. So you have to stick to a philosophy of the team. Knicks team is a grind out defense, hard labor, blue collar play, that kind of thing. They don't need, the Knicks doesn't need LeBron or Michael Jordan or Stephen Curry. The manpower they have, the players they have, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, Bridges, that is another story. I don't know what they will do with the Bridges. He's useless. Period. He's useless. Cat, there's some bright side of Cat. He developed some defensive scheme which could be utilized. I think proper scheme and complementary player, complementary game planning would work. But you have to understand, Cat is a very sensitive player. He's a fantastic player. If he's under the fire, nobody can beat him. He's that good. But you have to create the total theatrical plot for him to shine in there. And Knicks didn't do it yet. I don't know whether they can do it, but it's doable. But you need that kind of game player or the coach or strategist. Knicks doesn't have the strategist. Tom is not a scientific strategist. He just goes there, fold his fucking hands and do shit. I hope Knicks fans will wake up and think positive about the whole thing. I'm not blaming everything on Tom, but their front five, I have no doubt that they are good players, okay? But again, the Bridges is pathetic, right? He didn't prove anything. Yes, he played for a few minutes in the entire playoff against Boston. Okay, he didn't play the whole game though. He played few good shots. Okay, those are like legendary shots. Obviously, I'll agree with that. Okay, I'll die for those shots. I'll go with that shot. But overall, his performance is pathetic. Like he should be shameful of his own performance. Come on, 5 first rounder, show up, bro. Have a good night.